Hello there. The central paradox in selling is when urgency is perceived as neediness and leads to a fire sale. So the buyer shows some interest, you respond with urgency, and they think you're needy. And the buyer inevitably says, "Sharpen your pencil." Now, when the buyer does this, he or she's just doing their job, which unfortunately is trying to turn us into a commodity. We also have a job, which is to brand ourselves, to be the anti-commodity. So when a buyer responds to us, are we just a price check? Are they seeing urgency as neediness? It's a buyer's job to test if we're a commodity. How do they do it? And how do you respond to it? Let's look at a case history with a very tough buyer. We call him Tom the buyer. Tom bought about $100 million worth of stuff a year, and his company pays their bills on time. So he buys a lot and they pay their bills. Let's look at how Tom bought. Now let's say he's researching a category, buying something new, and what does he find? Wait, there's 50 vendors in the category. How many does he reach out to? Now, a typical buyer might reach out to three or four. Believe it or not, Tom reaches out to all 50 and he sends them what he calls an RFI, a request for information. He wants to learn about the business, what's important, when are they busy, how many shifts a week, do they work weekends, do they have sprinklers if it's a factory, and some basic idea of market pricing. Now, are all 50 going to respond? No way. Maybe 8 to 10 respond. But holy cow, these people are really interested. They're putting up with filling out a 10-page RFI. So now Tom takes the information that he has in the RFI and he flips it into an RFQ, a formal request for quote. Sends it to 8 to 10 people. Give me a quote, 5,000, 10,000, 25, 50, 100, a quarter of a million. One print, two prints, three prints, four prints. Packed bulk, packed individually. A lot of different information. Are all 8 to 10 going to respond? No way. Maybe 4 to 6 quote on it. But bear in mind again, he's now dealing with highly qualified, deeply interested buyers, sellers, selling organizations. Now, when he gets all the information in from the 4 to 6 that quote, he takes the best price, the best payment terms, the best lead time, and he creates this composite offer. He offers feedback to the folks who are involved. Says, I'm giving them market feedback. He's bluffing. Let's say he doesn't want to bluff. He might just say, right now, here's my strike price. What can you do? Now, a key observation to this method, the first was that he's got highly motivated selling organizations. Bear in mind that Tom is not a bottom fisher. Very often you will hear sellers or owners say, oh, he's a bottom fisher. Well, Tom considers bottom fishers to be wusses. He's looking to crack the bottom and create a new bottom to the market. That's his commodity play. And in addition to pulling in people who are highly motivated, he's not making any commitment because when he gives feedback, he always goes under the bottom of the market, under the bottom of the market. So if you quote a buck and the buyer says to you, can you do it for 90 cents? And you could do it for 90 cents. You would turn around and say, if I could do it for 90 cents, can we do business? But the way Tom's running this thing, he's always going under the market. So you could never meet what he's looking for. But he assures us that he's working on our behalf. He says, I like you. Give me your best price. I'll try to work you in. Well, the field narrows over time. Maybe there's only 3 to 4 motivated sellers who are left. But bear in mind, they want the business. And by this point, the price is so low that the owner's probably involved. And as we go forward over time, Tom gives us feedback to guide us as he's looking to crack the bottom of the market and establish a new low. New lower offers keep on coming in, and you can't believe as a seller you got the price down so low. And then all of a sudden, Tom announces the market just dropped another 3.5%. Well, this process continues until there are no lower offers. Now, it's not personal. It's not that he hates you. He's got a job. Turn everything into a commodity. Crack the bottom. Create a new bottom. Our job is to brand our offering. Have you had an opportunity recently in your company to brainstorm what's the best way to deal with this guy? I mean, you could walk away, but he buys a lot, right? He buys a lot. So you might just want to get your key team together to brainstorm, how do you handle Tom the buyer? Now, in the full webinar, this is a piece of it, we talk about, I think, 9 different methods. How you create a trusted advisor relationship, how you use level 5 leadership, taking ownership, payments in kind we're going to dig in on, going all in, a committed position, how you have to be good cop and bad cop to manage neurotransmitters, using the economic justification worksheet, which we'll send you if you'd like one, going higher in the food chain, using the half idea principle, a call for fairness, and reducing perceived risk. Let's just take a little bit of a deep dive on one of these, which is payments in kind. Payments in kind are the behaviors that buyers do that show they're committed to the process. If you do good work on PIKs, negotiating PIKs, early in the process, by the time you get to price, it's easier to handle. What are examples of PIKs? If you have a powerful offer, so you lead with wisdom, you have a bold vision, you do an economic justification, you could reasonably ask buyers to do behaviors like check a reference, complete a credit application, introduce us to the owner or someone higher up in the food chain. Now, these behaviors do 2 things. First of all, it gets the buyer more committed to the process, but it's also a tell. It shows you how you're doing. And the economic justification worksheet is one of the major ways that we earn the right to asking the buyer to do a PIK. So for the full presentation, go to this URL or scan this QR code, and it'll take you to the full presentation. Well, thanks for joining us today. We look forward now to seeing you in the future. Bye.